Please hang up and try again.
Freak Radio Network, broadcasting from the Lucas Oil Studios. Driven by General Tire. It's Speed Freaks. Motorsports Radio redefined with Kenny Sargent.
We love to party.
Crash Gladys.
What are we doing for the bachelorette party?
And Statman.
I am serious.
Here's the Freaks.
Freak Nation, Alexander Rossi will be here in the Freak Nation, and one of the funniest dudes to ever win a NASCAR truck race, Carson Hocevar, will be here in the Freak Nation. Speed Freaks on a Sunday night, Lucas Oil Studios, almost 23 years of doing this big fat radio show, and our fine friends at MAV TV are kind enough to put cameras here in these snappy studios. Crashers in Texas, Statman's in Columbus, and Richard C. Suave. Congratulations, Suave. You're sitting in the B seat tonight where Crasher typically is, buddy.
It's an honor. This is the first time I get to be here at the Lucas Oil Studios, home of the Freak Nation.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So, yeah.
So, Kenny, no, Kenny.
Yeah.
If that's my B seat and Statman's the A seat, are you the C seat? Because C is the initial that you love to use with everybody's middle name. Let
me just tell you this, Freak Nation. Given what's transpired over the first 60 minutes prior to this show, I'm just happy to have a freaking seat, to be honest. Okay. I'm happy to have a seat here in the Freak Nation and to be on MAV TV and 90-plus freaking radio stations across the planet, including Sirius XM, including every freaking streaming app on the planet. I'm just happy to have a freaking seat, Crash Gladys. Are you good with that there?
Yes. Are you wearing pants?
Yes, I am wearing pants, and I've got a 9-year-old downstairs from the studio that's going to be fat and happy here in moments because the microwave dinner that I made for her is going to be so delicious. It's incredible how our lives move at breakneck speed, but we got 2 hours, Freak Nation, that we're going to have a hell of a time for you. Your Statman Scat coming up, Crash Gladys Pit News and Notes with all of your results from your motorsports. Lucas Oil Winter Nationals, the Winter Nationals in spring in Pomona. She'll have results from that. Richmond, your NASCAR Cup race, where Kyle Larson frankly did something that's very big for Rick Hendrick and Hendrick Motorsports, not just to win, but on an anniversary today with a young man that we knew 20 plus years ago. And we'll share with you coming up in Pit News and Notes. You could be a part of this big old thing. You follow us on Twitter, Facebook, the website, speedfreaks.tv. Chime in when you can. And I want to get into something that your 65-time champion, Scott Dixon, had to say regarding the IndyCar series. Next segment. But this segment, I want to start off with Statman, you saw it. Crasher, you saw it. Suave, you saw it. I saw some of it. One of the biggest issues that NASCAR has when there's an IndyCar race is that it runs before the Cup race. If you have the Peacock Network, the Peacock app, you saw the IndyCar race from Texas. And I understand we are a country of cult of personality. And there are so many personalities that people follow when it comes to the NASCAR Cup Series. I get it. And I know why, because the opening was there 20 years ago and NASCAR took it and got their ass in there. But if you compare the racing with the IndyCar series today at Texas Motor Speedway, what we saw at Richmond, come on, Carl.
It was so sloppy seconds. It was crazy.
Right?
It just was. I mean, we were so geeked up off this mega powerful final 60 to 80 laps of IndyCar racing at high speeds and on the high banks of Texas Motor Speedway. And we're everybody from your couch or watching from an app or watching in the grandstands or in the media center where I was pacing like a stupid little idiot. But yes, it just had everybody just totally geeked up. And then you go from that to, oh, slow and we have 4 hours of this slow. Help me, God. Oh my God. It just, the dichotomy was crazy.
Statman, did it leave you wanting more once you woke up from that drunken stupor of yours and timed in to the Richmond race after getting your heart rate up to about $150 with the IndyCar race at Texas Motor Speedway?
Well, I was paying attention for a while because my 3 Beat the Freaks choices were all running 1, 2, 3. So I was like, yeah, let's keep doing this. I don't care if you're walking. This looked pretty good to me. But then I had William Byron, and Byron disappeared. But I got 2 of the top 4, I think it was.
Ooh.
So, yeah, I mean, there's no comparison. The speeds at Texas look like the video game, and a video game at maybe level 6. But the speeds at Richmond look like a video game at level -1. This is the beginner's level. And they were just noodling around, and they were doing the best they could. But, I can't say anything more bad about NASCAR than I've already said for 23 years. It just looks slow, and it's too slow, especially when you compare it to what IndyCar was just incredible today at Texas.
All right, let me go to the residential, and every now and then we got to check in the residential millennial when it comes to really clarifying where we are on certain stances and where we come in with an opinion. Suave, we've got Bristol coming up next weekend, Easter on dirt. Do you think it would behoove, and this sounds so counterproductive, man, but do you think NASCAR should counter-program to IndyCar to where, and again, it determines on when schedules come out, I get it, but what if you put Bristol dirt the same day, night as an IndyCar race at Texas Motor Speedway? Would that give you any Jones to say, you know what, this cup racing on dirt kind of rivals what the hell I saw at Texas Motor Speedway?
That's a really tough question. I'd have to imagine that neither of those series want to race against each other because they're basically trying to get the same viewer, the same coveted demographic to watch their series. So I think NASCAR is doing the right thing, which is trying to counter program. However, I know last season, Crash, a couple of times NASCAR and IndyCar were on at the same time, or at least would overlap a little bit more. I know we got some pushback on social media at Speedfreaks on Twitter, and people were kind of complaining a little bit, like they had to do some two-screen experience. Like I was doing that today because IndyCar was over right in perfect time, so I could turn on and watch the Women's National Championship game in college basketball. So that was my watching today. I was watching the Women's Championship game.
Nice job, Richie.
Over NASCAR.
Nice
Congratulations to LSU on winning the national title today. So that was what I had my viewing today. That just says a lot about NASCAR, in my opinion.
Now, what it tells me is you should have been the Freak Nation member that was in Dallas, because you could have gone straight from Texas Motor Speedway to downtown Dallas and watched the women's game. I mean, Dallas had so much going on right now as we're speaking. Taylor Swift is in concert at the Star, I believe. So, yeah, Dallas just had so much this weekend.
Are you kidding? So you've got the IndyCar race. You have the women's NCAA finals and Taylor Swift not playing at American Airlines Center at Jerry Jones. Are you kidding me that's happening?
Yep. That was all today in the lovely confines of Dallas-Fort Worth, the Metroplex. Yep.
Along with the worst clouds ever seen in history.
God.
The weather looked like it was something straight out of a meteorology final exam. It looked terrible.
Yeah, we had a lot of hail today. We had nasty clouds everywhere. Some portions of the Fort Worth area got some pretty serious winds, and there was lots of tornado watches, but no, at least that I know of, no actual reports of funnel clouds anywhere. But yeah, it got nasty in a few parts. Let's put it that way.
What does that say about Taylor Swift? She came in there and said, screw you, IndyCar series. You know what? I love me some women's basketball, but bro, I'm going to roll in here and sell 100,000 tickets at Jerry Jones Stadium and sell out every freaking hotel in a 60-mile radius, kiss my freaking beautiful behind, because I'm going to do it. And speaking of counter programming, holy smokes. Again, Taylor Swift, Statman Crasher, rolling in there and doing what the Swifties do.
You think the Swifties care about a car race anywhere? If they have a chance, they almost crashed the internet when they couldn't get the tickets, much less. You think they're worried about a car race somewhere? That's crazy.
Well, hold on just a second. We got to Crasher. We got to go to our residential millennial on this. He is a full-fledged Swiftie. Statman, this dude, Richie rolled up to State Farm Stadium here in Phoenix. Rolled up to the stadium before the concert. I didn't even think the concert. Richie, didn't you roll up to get some freaking Swiftie gear?
I waited in line for 90 minutes just to get a tapestry with Taylor Swift's face on it that I can put up in my house. It was terrific. I loved it. And that was 6 hours before the show.
Oh,
90 minutes.
So
yes,
but you weren't vibing and dancing in those 90 minutes, though, were you?
No, it was just very anxiously waiting for her to come on 6 hours later. Great show, by the way. I'm very jealous that I can't go again, but
another reason you should have been in Dallas. Oh my gosh, Richie, you could have gone from IndyCar to the women's championship game. You would have had to get a helicopter to do that.
All right, we got to listen. We got to break in 30 seconds, but I will say this: Taylor Swift's 3-hour plus show was about as long as we had with Richmond, and I guarantee 100,000 people probably had a little bit more time than watching freaking NASCAR in Bristol, Freak Nation. All right, coming up.
Richmond, but okay.
Scott Dixon, thank you. Scott Dixon has something to say about ovals when it comes to IndyCar racing that may shock some folks out there. That's next.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
It's more than just a slogan. General Tire delivers for whatever you do. General Tire's Grabber X3 mud terrain tire offers aggressive styling and is engineered for durability with innovative performance features that are ready to carry you through extreme mud, dirt, and rock-covered terrain. For extreme traction that's ready for anything and rugged styling to match, look no further than the Grabber X3. General Tire delivers for whatever you do. Check out GeneralTire.com today. General Tire, aggressively styling the Speed Freaks since 2001.
From the labs at Lucas Oil Products, Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment is a multifunctional cleaner plus lubricant. For every fill-up of gas or diesel, add one 16-ounce can of Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment. One bottle can treat a tank of up to 21 gallons. Its special additives allows a better fuel burn to help increase your miles per gallon. Expect longer engine life, longer oil life, cleaner exhaust, and less fuel consumption. Lucas Oil, it works.
Dragging your knee at 100 miles per hour, doing a double jump with some extreme flair. If you're into two-wheel racing, make a standing date for Tuesday night on MAV TV. Two-Wheel Tuesday will showcase the world's best motorcycle racers on the most challenging tracks. Whether it's the treacherous high-speed ballet of road racing or the handlebar-to-handlebar combat of the dirt arenas, MAV TV has your two-wheel fix every week on Two-Wheel Tuesday.
There's a price war in the insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call the Term Lifeline right now and see if you can save 40%. $500,000 plans and up, that's our specialty. Even great smokers rates. Protect your family today. Call the Term Lifeline right now for a free quote. 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM.
The biggest racing series in America is coming to your town. It's time to mark your calendar. Get ready for the wildest festival of speed in the Midwest. The Enjoy Illinois 300, presented by Ticket Smarter. It doesn't get any bigger than this. Don't be on the outside looking in. Get your tickets now at www.raceway.com. Brought to you in part by the Office of Illinois Tourism and Illinois South Tourism.
For more than 30 years, Lucas Oil Products has been solving some of the most difficult mechanical problems in the automotive, marine, and industrial industries. From our original Core 4 products, heavy-duty oil stabilizer, power steering, stop leak, transmission fix, and fuel treatment, we have now developed over 400 custom products to help solve some of the world's toughest mechanical issues. Go to lucasoil.com to see what we have in store for you. Lucas Oil, it works.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio Redefined.
Freak Nation, coming up June 25th, we will be celebrating 23 years of the longest, largest motorsports radio show on the planet. And for the majority of those 23 years, we've been doing it from the Lucas Oil Studios, and we can't say it enough. Thank you, Lucas Oil, for making this thing possible. That's why every chance I get to tell you, Freak Nation, go to their website at lucasoil.com. I can single out all kinds of products because they have a plethora of products to keep everything in your garage, every jalopy you have in storage, happy. The bottom line is go to lucasoil.com, inside your engine, outside your engine, inside your car, outside your car with slick mist. Lucas Oil has the products to keep everything in your garage. 2 wheels, your boat, your car, pretty snappy. Go to lucasoil.com. Crasher, let's get into some pit news and notes. And then what I'd like to get into is Scott Dixon. Dude had something to say about ovals when it came to IndyCar racing. So Crash Gladys Pit News and Notes brought to you by good friends at Lucas Oil. Crasher?
I think you just coined another hashtag, though. Keep your jalopy happy.
Yeah.
That just sounded so great. Rolled off the tongue there. All right, guys, what a weekend we had. IndyCar and World of Outlaws and NASCAR trucks in Texas. We also had NASCAR on the East Coast and Xfinity Series and NHRA on the West Coast. Let's start east and move west, all right? First up, Richmond Raceway was with the Xfinity Series, and even though Chandler Smith led the most laps, the race wasn't always in his hands, especially at the end when he had to outduel John Hunter Nemechek after the last restart to win by just 0.3 of a second. By the way, Chandler Smith's first win ever in the Xfinity Series. Cup had the unfortunate, we just talked about this, Sunday afternoon position of following a stellar IndyCar race from the morning, but Cup delivered, albeit slower and several hours longer. It was essentially a battle of Gibbs versus Hendrick cars. All right, William Byron, your Stage 1 winner. Denny Hamlin, Stage 2 winner. Byron came back in full force later in Stage 3, but not without competition from his teammates, Kyle Larson, or his teammate Kyle Larson, and then Hamlin's teammate Christopher Bell. After Byron spun with 21 to go, Larson captained the campaign, and he went on to win it. And then get this, he won it. This is what Kenny was alluding to earlier, in the late Ricky Hendrick's exact same paint scheme on Ricky Hendrick's, what would have been his 43rd birthday today.
Wow.
I mean, you can't script anything that great. And yes, we freaks got to know Ricky Hendrick pretty well and just loved that guy. Absolutely loved him. All right, Texas played host to first the World of Outlaws, where Brad Sweet grabbed night 1 at Devil's Bowl Speedway, and then James McFadden just dominated to clinch on the finale night. On that same night, last night, NASCAR Truck Series saw domination of their own in Nick Sanchez. However, Sanchez and Zane Smith decided to wreck each other on the last lap to net the win to first-timer Carson Hocevar, who actually had to wait on the front stretch coming up to the dogleg, had to wait until NASCAR cleared him as the official winner. Just craziness. Carson Hocevar will join us next hour in the show. All right, IndyCar grabbed the headlines. First in Fort Worth on Sunday morning, a race at TMS that saw a few lead changes to start, then domination by Josef Newgarden, and then a domination flip over to Pato O'Ward, who seemingly had this race in the bag. Yeah, lapping up to the second position. I mean, this race was done, people, and then yellow flags became the domination of the race, or the dominator of the race. Each and every competitor, though, after that 6 yellow flags to go to the end, or 5 yellow flags to go to the end, everybody turned up the wick and strategies went all over the place. Numerous 3 wide stints. This was a damn good race. Unfortunately, with 2 laps to go, Romain Grosjean saw the wall, and that ended what could have been an epic battle between Patricio O'Ward and Josef Newgarden. Joseph with the win, O'Ward second. NHRA held their Lucas Oil Winter Nationals. Yes, Winter Nationals, 2 weeks after the official start of spring. No more winter, but don't tell that to the mountains that were right there, snow-capped and all beautiful right behind the drag strip. Double O Dallas Glenn prevailed to take a very tight win in the pro stock battle. He also joins us next hour, by the way. Matt Hagan won his second race of the 3 races this year in Funny Car, and Justin freaking Ashley. I'm going to say it again, Justin freaking Ashley. He not only won last week in Phoenix, he also won yesterday in the Mission Foods Too Fast, Too Tasty Challenge, and then won again today to double-double at the new, see what I did there? In and out Pomona drag strips. Justin Ashley with the double-double.
Gotta go.
Dude's on a roll. So yeah, let's get to ovals again. And Scott Dixon, I mean, we saw an amazing race today with IndyCars at Texas Motor Speedway. Dixon says we have 5 ovals on the schedule now. That should be the minimum. We need more. That's his opinion.
Okay, let me get to, and again, we don't need to get into the whole history of what happened with IndyCar with the split back in the day, but wasn't that Crasher part of the issue with the team owners and Tony George was the number of oval races for the open wheel series? Wasn't that one of the issues between the owners and Tony George at the time?
No, the issue was money and bragging rights and greed and all that. What happened, though,
Agree with me?
split,
Come on.
No. What happened with the split is that Tony George decided that his series was going to be all ovals. Really, the owners weren't disagreeing with anything. They all loved being the most diverse racing series on the planet. But Tony George took his side and went all ovals, whereas the other group, the white paper group, took the kart series and went, well, they still had a couple, didn't they? Yeah, because they still had Michigan. So they kept their diversification. They kept most of the superstar names. But when you have the Indy 500 in your stable, which Tony George did, clearly that's what just kept this daggone feud going forever and ever. But no, the only oval issue here was that Tony decided his series was exclusively ovals. That's it. Statman,
ovals in IndyCar, there's just something to be said. And if you don't have a better example, frankly, even in my opinion, than, I know it's sacrilege, than Indianapolis Motor Speedway, more so than Indianapolis Motor Speedway, it's Texas Motor Speedway, because as a fan, if you have a heart rate monitor, your heart rate is triple digits just watching the damn race.
The race was crazy, and I think it was like a video game. Like I said before, to me, it's too fast, and I'll deal with that in my scat. But it was good racing. It does bring out the best in drivers. But when you heard Graham Rahal after an accident, heard him say that I survived Texas, I don't think that's the guy shouldn't go into a race and come out worrying about whether or not they're going to finish or survive. That's not the best. To me, it's not the best example of oval racing. And they go faster at Indy than they do at Texas. But the point of the matter is that at Indy, you got a chance to drive, or at Texas, I think sometimes they're just aiming the car and hope they get there. And if somebody makes a mistake, then who can survive what's going on behind them?
Graham Rahal had an interesting choice of words there. Other drivers, I mean, I think he said that in a sense being a little bit mad. He had almost the exact same crash and crash opponent that he had last year. So he was a little bitter. Most every other driver was saying how it was just fun out there. They enjoyed the 2.5 groove track that was out there this year that they did not have last year, because just the way things have weathered in, the resin that was put on the track back in September, I believe. They're not worrying about that PJ1 anymore, because that would make the track too dark and just too difficult and single groove everything. This was back to being fun and able to stick your car. They had good downforce packages too. Able to stick your car on the outside, stick your car on the inside, be able to be side by side and not feel those, white knuckled moments of, can I make it through this corner? They didn't have that today. Drivers had fun. Yeah, unfortunately, you can't keep that all the time, but today was good.
Crash, that's absolutely true. In fact, we talked to some drivers yesterday who said that the rubbering in the second groove would give them a chance to do some racing. And they did some racing today. They were going 2 wide in places and 3 wide in places. So they were able to race. But to me, and I'm just an old hack rider, to me, the idea of video game speeds is just too much. You don't get a chance. I'd like it when guys race as opposed to just flying around and hope they can get by and do some passing.
Speedfreaks from the Lucas Oil Studios, and I'm agreeing. If you're watching this on YouTube or on MAV TV or any of our other video outlets, Jimmy Clark's, I agree with what Jimmy Clark says. I'm holding my breath every time I see the IndyCar series at a racetrack that's like Texas Motor Speedway. Like Statman said, it looks like a freaking video game, and it's like, you know what it's like? And I know we got to break in about 45 seconds. It's like the last 10 laps of Daytona. for 2 hours. You're holding your freaking breath, just waiting for something to freaking happen. And Connor Daly, I know we got said, let's go back to Vegas, Crasher.
Connor wants to go back to Las Vegas. He says the package they have now and not having to worry about trying to force 33 cars on that track, just keep it with 25. He makes a compelling argument.
Holy smokes. When you're we got a break. Freak Nation, his name is Alexander Rossi. Dude's always got something to say when he rolls in the Freak Nation. Sat in the top 5, frankly, for today's IndyCar race. Today's IndyCar race. He joins us next. Speed Freaks Pits and the Lucas Oil Studio.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Execution's 11 p.m., but he's trying to convince us he's gone insane.
You're looking for that movie that'll give you a thrill ride from beginning to end? Well, then you need to see Nefarious. It's a supernatural thriller that's going to have you guessing from start to finish. It stars Sean Patrick Flannery, which of course you know from Boondock Saints, Young Indiana Jones, Powder Dexter, The Boys. Flannery, frankly, turns in his best performance as Edward Wayne Brady, a convicted serial killer and master manipulator awaiting execution. And his sanity must be judged before execution by a psychiatrist. And Edward's last psychiatrist, committed suicide under suspicious conditions. But dig this, Brady reveals he wants to be executed, claiming he's the demon Nefarious. Nefarious opens in theaters Friday, April 14th, so get your tickets now at whoisnefarious.com. That's whoisnefarious.com.
Can you feel it? I think it's time we tell you what it is that we'd like you to do.
The weekend racing is over, or is it? Not on MAP TV. Monday is All-American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAP TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All-American Racing, only on MAP TV, Motorsports Network.
The biggest racing series in America is coming to your town. It's time to mark your calendar. Get ready for the wildest festival of speed in the Midwest. The Enjoy Illinois 300, presented by Ticket Smarter. It doesn't get any bigger than this. Don't be on the outside looking in. Get your tickets now at www.raceway.com. Brought in part by the Office of Illinois Tourism and Illinois South Tourism.
From the labs at Lucas Oil Products, Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment is a multifunctional cleaner plus lubricant. For every fill-up of gas or diesel, add one 16-ounce can of Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment. One bottle can treat a tank of up to 21 gallons. Its special additives allows a better fuel burn to help increase your miles per gallon. Expect longer engine life, longer oil life, cleaner exhaust, and less fuel consumption. Lucas Oil, it works.
General Tire was born more than 100 years ago, right here in America. We've spent the last century tackling every kind of road this country has to offer, and especially the places without roads. So you know that with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
There's a price war in the insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call the Term Lifeline right now and see if you can save 40%. $500,000 plans and up, that's our specialty. Even great smokers rates. Protect your family today. Call the Term Lifeline right now for a free quote. 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to say
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Nation, now through the end of April, you can get up to $70 back with a Visa prepaid card from our friends at General Tire when you buy 4 qualifying tires from our friends at General Tire. Do yourself a favor, man, either during the show. Tomorrow morning, set an alarm, go to generaltire.com to find more information on where you can get your tires and how you can get back $70 with a Visa prepaid card with 4 qualifying tires from General Tire. His name is Alexander Rossi, top 5 qualifying in today's IndyCar series, the 3rd car for the McLaren team. Flying those Lucas Oil colors, he joins us now, Speedfreaks Pits and the Lucas Oil Studios. So Alexander Rossi joining us here in the Freak Nation IndyCar series. Alexander Rossi joining us here in the Freak Nation. One of the things I'm curious about when it comes to Texas, of course, it's a gnarly track. You guys are reaching speeds of about 1,500 miles an hour on that track. Hey, man, when it comes to spotters at a track that's so damn fast, do you need one about every, 10th of a mile to keep you guys honest on the track?
No. I would say that's probably aggressive, because we're only actually doing 987 miles an hour. So like you don't really need one that often, but no, the spotter relationship on ovals is super important. Not because you make decisions based on what they're telling you, but they're kind of just a subconscious reassurance, if that makes sense. Like you're clear, but when they say it, it's like, okay, like you can definitely kind of turn with confidence or whatever. And the other thing that they're super good for is kind of communicating what other cars are doing. So Texas in particular, I think this year we're going to have 2 lanes kind of active during the race. So they'll be able to explain kind of who's good up high, who's, using that area and the strengths and weaknesses that other cars have that you might not be able to see yourself.
IndyCar Series pilot Alexander Rossi joining us in the Lucas Oil Studios. You hear it from Formula One drivers, IndyCar Series drivers. If you have to think about making a move, you're too late. That's why I was curious about when it comes to a spotter. By the time it comes out of his mouth, isn't that gap or that move already gone?
Yeah, I think no, but you're right in the sense that you don't think about things step by step. You're operating on a subconscious level just because the speeds are as high as they are. And then you're kind of thinking about the bigger picture, like what's the tire life going to be like? How's the balance changing throughout the run? Like, are we fuel saving now and not competing against the guys that aren't fuel saving or vice versa? And what cars are you racing that are on the lead lap or not? So I think you're kind of thinking about all of that sort of thing, not I have to turn in here or I have to make sure that, I do X, Y, and Z. So the spotter, again, is kind of like a reassurance and kind of a voice on your shoulder, but you don't live and die by kind of what the spotter's saying.
Let me jump in here for a minute, Crash. In rallying, drivers and co-drivers have a language they speak all their own to each other. Do you have that same kind of language between you and the spotter? Is he telling you things that wouldn't make sense to anybody else who heard it?
That's a really good question. No, it's pretty much inside, outside, clear, 5 back, which is like just car lengths. And then they count you down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or like you're pulling away. And that's really probably about it.
Is that normal for all tracks, or just because of the speed at Texas won't let him get too much out of his mouth?
So honestly, the reason spotters came to be was back in kind of the IRL classic days when you had these races every week where cars were side by side, right? And so if you're on the outside of a car and you're slightly in front of them, you can't really see where they are. And so the last thing you want to do at these speeds is kind of inadvertently turn down or take their lane away. Oval racing in IndyCar has evolved a lot to where it's a lot of single file stuff. So spotters are kind of something that's been kept on as they're helpful, but they aren't a necessity. Like they used to be a necessity, and that's not really the case anymore, if that helps.
Oh yeah, but on road courses, without question.
Not a necessity.
Or no.
Yeah. So like most teams don't even use spotters on road courses. Like we do, because it's like, again, it's kind of like a track walk. You do it because like everyone else is doing it, but like you don't really learn anything or gain anything from it. I kind of feel the same way about spotters. Like you don't want to leave any stone unturned because like, God forbid, the one time that in turn 1 you get hit from the back, and it's like, well, I told you if you had a spotter that wouldn't have happened. So that's the reason you kind of do it, but like it's not a be all or end all. It's not like Cup. And I think the reason why is because, again, we don't have the racing that Cup has in terms of the ovals and the side-by-side stuff, the super speedway stuff. And then also, like, we don't want to be that close to another car because, like, you can't have contact. So when you take all of those things into consideration, it's like it's still a pretty different style of racing to other series, but also what we had, 1 or 2 decades ago.
But what you're explaining right there, you guys in IndyCar seem to be the best of both worlds. You do have some good side-by-side racing at times, and you've got your follow the leader like Formula One. It's almost like Formula One's trying to copy you guys right now with their parody. But why is it still not translated to the American public, do you think?
Well, that's a much bigger question and answer than we have time for today. But I think, ultimately we're still IndyCar has an upward trajectory, and it has had really since I came to the series in 2016. You're welcome. No, I'm kidding. But like, it just so happened that like
2016 500 winner,
2016 all the way through today, like everything's been growing in a kind of an exponential rate, but it's still recovering from something that was really, really bad. And so like, it's a long road. It's not an overnight fix. And there's a lot of focus now that we have. I mean, hell, we have a docuseries coming out. We're on network TV for the majority of the races. The social media team that IndyCar has implemented really beginning in St. Pete this year, they told us yesterday that the numbers that they had in terms of engagement from St. Pete was higher than they had for the Indy 500 last year. So everything that they're doing is directionally correct. We just need like more of it and more people, and just it's all about money. It's a spend, it's a resource thing. But IndyCar does have the best product of all racing, and they are doing a really good job of growing it. It just, like anything in racing, we'd all like to see it go faster.
Well, no, you're right. Money equals something that makes things more tangible for others.
Yeah.
All right. You brought up the docuseries, which we're all excited about, but you also said something in a tweet many, many moons ago about IndyCar. If they ever did a movie, who would you want to see playing in it? You said Jennifer Lawrence. Would she play Kate on your team? Would she play?
I mean, I don't know. Hopefully I can hang out with her. My fiance, I don't know. Yeah, that'd probably be better, right?
Who would play you?
I just love Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, she's pretty much badass.
Pretty awesome. Yeah.
Who would play you?
I don't know. Like, that's a hard one. I don't feel like someone can answer that themselves. Like, it has to be assigned to you, right?
Yeah.
I get told I look like that guy that played Lucifer.
Oh,
perfect.
Yeah.
There you go.
Which actually I kind of like, I'm not mad about it.
No, he's pretty much a badass dude. His name's escaping me.
Yeah.
My daughter had her first game for a tournament this weekend. She's never played in a tournament, but one of the conversations that came out of this was there's a dude on, there are 30 freaking soccer fields. This is one of the largest complexes I've ever seen in my life. There's a guy behind me wearing an Arrow hat, almost identical to what you have. Of course. I say, hey, how you doing? Kenny Sargent with Speedfreaks. He goes, who the hell are you? I said, I see the hat that you're wearing. And I know the relevance of that hat that you're wearing. And I told him why I'm asking. And getting back to your conversation about the popularity of IndyCar, I'm in the middle of freaking Mesa, Arizona. He says, we'll talk about where Rossi, O'Ward, and Rosenquist qualify when you come back for the 620 game. This is a dude out of nowhere with an Arrow hat. So congratulations. You're reaching the middle of Mesa, Arizona with a 9-year-old soccer tournament.
I mean, that's awesome. Like, I love hearing stories about that. And yes, like anything in our world, right? We're always about being better and finding opportunities to excel and beat competition, right? But like, I think when you still look at the NTT IndyCar series, like it's still pretty awesome, right? And it still does reach a lot of people in a lot of different areas. And it's always cool when you are in these random small towns and you see something. Like I got a lot of that from my past life with like Napa Auto Parts, right? So they had these small towns that they would have auto care centers or whatever. And then there would be people that just knew of me and like Chase because of that. So I think that that's part of like the brand recognition. Having Arrow hats in Mesa, Arizona is awesome. And we did an event at Kroger last night for Mission Foods. So like having name brands and that association with IndyCar is also very important. So I think that McLaren does a great job at that. And it's very good to hear. And you will have to tell us how the conversation goes. Hopefully he's happy with 1, 3, and 5. Can't do much better than that.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that the story ended there. We got to let Alex go. But because I thought you were going to bring up, it's a Formula One hat. So thank goodness that's not where it
thank
went.
God. Otherwise, you'd have to take it away.
Exactly.
What if I did that? If I said, hey, are you Rossi Award or Rosenquist? He'd say, who? No, no, he didn't say that. He said, let's talk about where they qualify when we get to the game at 6:20. Hey, Rossi, it's always fantastic when you're rolling here, man. It's a Rossi that you don't see.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
Dragging your knee at 100 miles per hour, doing a double jump with some extreme flair. If you're into two-wheel racing, make a standing date for Tuesday night on MAV TV. Two Wheel Tuesday will showcase the world's best motorcycle racers on the most challenging tracks. Whether it's the treacherous high-speed ballet of road racing or the handlebar-to-handlebar combat of the dirt arenas, MAV TV has your two-wheel fix every week on Two Wheel Tuesday.
Packages start at $29.99 a month with signed agreement. Restrictions apply. Speak to a representative for complete offer details. See Vivint.com for license details. Terms and conditions apply.
Homeowners, if you're looking for the best in-home security and smart home technology at a price you can actually afford, we have great news. Now you can get Vivint's award-winning home security systems starting at about $1 a day. U.S. News and World Report has recognized Vivint as the best professionally installed home security system of 2022. And right now, you can get Vivint's home security technology for about $1 a day. Plus, get free professional installation from a licensed technician. Protect your home and loved ones for as low as $1 a day. Call right now for your free home security consultation.
800-569-5802. 800-569-5802. 800-569-5802. That's 800-569-5802.
At Lucas Oil, we take pride in creating problem-solving products to make your car care easier. We protect your vehicle and make it run longer so you can focus on the things that matter most. Whether it's commuting to work, visiting a loved one, taking the kids where they need to go, going to the big game, or anywhere life takes you, Lucas Oil is committed to getting you there for all of life's important moments. Lucas Oil, it works.
Our team is on the Rubicon Trail today, running over 125 vehicles over one of the toughest trails in the world. With all the different modifications people can make for their Jeep 4x4, the only product that touches the ground is a tire. This is the team that you want testing your product.
I've been off-roading for 30 years now, and you definitely don't need anything bigger than 37-inch tires. Our founder, Mark Smith, drove from the tip of South America to the tip of North America on 31-inch tires.
The General Tire X Series meets our standards.
We have the ability for accelerated testing in all conditions: mud, rock, dirt.
We're out here this week highlighting the capability of the General Grabber X3 to see how this tire can perform in unbelievable conditions. It's incredible to watch General Tire deliver in this terrain.
General Tire delivers me to a fishing tournament, the outdoors, jeeping, whatever it is that you want to do. It's outdoor life is what it is.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio redefined.
Sunday's IndyCar race at Texas was the answer to a classic question. Is racing competition or speed? It's easy to say both, but that borders on a cop-out to me. There's so much drama in wheel-to-wheel competition. Driver skill is tested, car setup, team strategy, and so much more. The breathtaking speeds at Texas, though, introduce a level of luck to me. Can you avoid an accident when human reaction just isn't fast enough to avoid another car? It's good to have events like Texas in the calendar where we can test a driver's skill and luck. Thinking aloud, though, speeds at Indy are greater, but the drama of the competition is higher as well. The longer lap makes both possible and makes the show at Indy so great. The shorter lap at Texas makes the show look like a video game and less like a contest of motor racing skills. The frustration to me is how the race ended Sunday. Did Josef Newgarden win, or did the race end while he was in first place? It just seemed like there was so much random left in the Winners' Cup at the end. Peace.
Statman Scat here in the Freak Nation. More on the IndyCar race at Texas Motor Speedway. Speed Freaks on a Sunday night. Almost 23 years of the longest, largest motorsports radio show on the planet. In fact, we are the original motorsports show on Sirius, before Sirius and Sirius XM joined together about 21 years ago, I think it was. Regardless, man, happy to be on MAV TV and all the other video outlets on the planet. Got a great story here, Freak Nation, and it comes for our residential millennial, Richard C. Suave. He was out partying with his boys last night. I don't know where the hell he was. He was in a club. I was about 2.5 hours into my slumber because I had to get up at 6 o'clock for an 8 a.m. soccer tournament game with my 9-year-old. So I missed I've missed damn near every one of these Formula One races because it doesn't interest me right about now. And I'll tell you why it doesn't here coming up. But Richie, explain to the Freak Nation. Crasher Stat, you didn't hear this story, but Richie and I were talking during the break. This is a fantastic story when it comes to Formula One and some of those who have no idea, who couldn't spell Formula One or F1 if you spotted them the F. Richie?
Yeah, this is really great. This just shows you, I think, how far Formula One has come as a sport in comparison, especially to your other North American motorsports, IndyCar, NASCAR, and NHRA. So me and about 6 other friends were out last night. We were originally going to go see John Wick 4. However, there were not enough seats in the theater last night, so we made a change of plans, went across the street to the local sports bar. Formula One race, Australian GP, airing on ESPN as it normally does. So ESPN and the Formula One race are on multiple TVs at the particular bar we are at. We show up. I'm the only one that's really interested in the race for the most part, right? Because I'm a Formula One fan. It's on. I was excited to see what Lewis Hamilton was going to do, what George Russell were going to do with good qualifying spots right behind Max Verstappen, who was on the pole. And then after a while, the conversation amongst the 7 of us turns our eyes to the TV. I find out that one of my friends had actually bet on the race in terms of who's going to get themselves on the podium. And then eventually, as the night goes on and on and on, they keep looking up at the TV and they're like, what's going on? Why is there a red flag? Why aren't they racing? What's going on here? So I spent the next half an hour of our conversation explaining to them the rules of Formula One, and it was terrific. And I will tell you.
Wait. Yeah. You knew the rules to explain it. The people there didn't know the rules, and you were explaining.
I'm glad you brought that up, Stat, because that's what I was telling them. I was like, I don't even know what's going on here. I was mostly just trying to explain to them like what DRS was, what a caution flag was, what a safety car was, how the point structure works. And my point being, the reason I wanted to bring this up on the show is because there is no other North American motorsport or world motorsport, in my opinion, where the 7 of us who are all in our late 20s and early 30s are going to bring up any discussion at a sports bar other than Formula One. I don't think any of my friends have seen Drive to Survive either, other than knowing about it from other friends of friends. So that's why I thought this was so important to bring up on the show, because I thought it was a really cool dichotomy in terms of what Formula One is looking to bring in terms of a fan. Now, any of them, any of my other friends watch a Formula One race again? No, but at least it's now at the front of their minds that they're thinking about Formula One. Whereas I can guarantee you, none of them are going to ever think about NASCAR or IndyCar ever again. And I thought that was great. I was like, yes, I want more fans of motorsport. And I was hoping to do that last night.
Crasher, turn your mic on. Crasher.
It's on.
Okay, there you go. We got you now. Go ahead.
What was the reason behind one of your friends betting on Formula One? Because they did not watch Formula One, but for some reason they put money on whoever's going to get on the podium?
Exactly. I didn't ask specifically, but I can tell you that a lot of my friends are hardcore sports gamblers. So I think a lot of them at this point will just look for anything to bet on. Like it was the only thing that was on at 10 o'clock at night. They're just like, cool, we'll just put a couple bucks on there. And he did end up winning money because he had money on Fernando Alonso and Lewis Hamilton getting themselves on the podium, and they did just that.
Well, okay then.
Hey, Statman, I'm going to go to you on this. And it's well known out there, Freak Nation, that, and I'm not afraid to say this, I've not been a big Formula One fan. I'm not. I mean, it's your job. No, it's not.
You never have been. You never have been. Yeah.
And it may have started many years ago, and I don't need to get into this, when it came to Ralph Schumacher.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to get into that. The technology of Formula One, I saw my first Formula One race at IndyCar in Indianapolis many years ago, and there's nothing like it. Short of the launch of a funny car or top fuel car, frankly, the technology of a Formula One car, there's nothing like it. I was a passenger in a two-seater in Spain in a Formula One two-seater. And I came up to the first turn at Catalunya, and I said, there's no way. I'm about to die. I'm not going to see my friends and family anymore. He made the right or left turn, wherever the hell it was, and I went, oh, my God, this is happening. I'm in a Formula One two-seater, and this technology just did this. I'm blown away by the technology. Okay, that's great. But the a-holery that ran that series, some of these drivers that were part of this series can kiss my big, fat Texas pig butt. Because I don't like them. Can't stand them. But when Drive to Survive came on, people went bonkers. I was back on the bandwagon. Me? I'm back off the band. You got a 42-year-old running in the 3 spot in the point standings who's still 16 weeks behind the 2 Red Bull drivers. Remember when Hamilton and Verstappen came down, not just to the last race, not to this last lap, the last freaking turn? We were going nuts. And Hamilton got screwed out of a championship. You got him. The dude who screwed him got booted. Ever since then, Red Bull, who's been paying off whoever they need to pay off, they sat at the top of the standings. Am I snorkeling stat man and what the hell he does with Lewis Hamilton? No, I just don't have any freaking interest right now. I would like it when Fernando Alonso doing his he podiums. He freaking podiums. What 42-year-old in motorsports podiums?
Oh, whoa. Elio Castroneves wins his 4th Indy 500 at the age of 45. So it happens. Jimmy Johnson, I believe, won a race after 40. So come on, it happens.
Formula One, Crasher. It's like comparing the NBA or freaking World Cup games to my daughter's 9-year-old tournament yesterday. Sorry. We got a break yet.
So what was the question you wanted to ask me now?
Yeah.
I don't know, damn it.
I don't get it.
I have no idea. Listen.
It's clear as mud.
We dig rabbit holes here in Freak Nation. I was swimming in mine. Fernando Alonso sitting in the 3 spot, and again, is still 14 races behind the 2 Red Bull drivers. What interest do I have?
Mercedes is making a comeback. At least they did today.
God.
And the cars are getting faster. After last year, it was embarrassing. But they're getting faster today, and he might win this year. Lewis might win this year. Might, yeah. I got a buddy of mine who told me that Fernando Alonso, he told me 7 years ago or whenever it was that Alonso would never win again. And 2 years ago, he told me that Lewis would never win again. And we didn't speak for about 3 months after that.
Richie, we got one more minute, man. Listen, I love motorsports. I think it's phenomenal. You put me in front of a Formula One race every freaking other weekend that they race, Just put the snorkel on me, let me go. I get it. The technology of that series is stunning. It's bonkers. And if you've never had a chance to see a Formula One race live, give up your kids' college education a little bit and spend the damn money.
It's the only way it's going to happen. Right. It's the only way it's going to happen.
Go to COTA, go to Miami, go to the freaking Las Vegas race where it will cost your freaking freshman year of your son's education.
COTA's more affordable than Miami and Vegas. Miami and Vegas are just way
Second
too
hour of the Freaks coming up, Speed Freaks, Lucas Oil Studios, and of course, your Speed Freaks pits. Formula One.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
Dragging your knee at 100 miles per hour, doing a double jump with some extreme flair. If you're into two-wheel racing, make a standing date for Tuesday night on MAV TV. Two-Wheel Tuesday will showcase the world's best motorcycle racers on the most challenging tracks. Whether it's the treacherous high-speed ballet of road racing or the handlebar-to-handlebar combat of the dirt arenas, MAV TV has your two-wheel fix every week on Two-Wheel Tuesday.
Execution's 11 p.m., but he's trying to convince us he's gone insane.
You're looking for that movie that'll give you a thrill ride from beginning to end? Well, then you need to see Nefarious. It's a supernatural thriller that's going to have you guessing from start to finish. It stars Sean Patrick Flannery, which of course you know from Boondock Saints, Young Indiana Jones, Powder Dexter, The Boys. Flannery, frankly, turns in his best performance as Edward Wayne Brady, a convicted serial killer and master manipulator awaiting execution. And his sanity must be judged before execution by a psychiatrist. And Edward's last psychiatrist, committed suicide under suspicious conditions. But dig this, Brady reveals he wants to be executed, claiming he's the demon Nefarious. Nefarious opens in theaters Friday, April 14th, so get your tickets now at whoisnefarious.com. That's whoisnefarious.com.
Did you feel it? I think it's time we tell you what it is that we'd like you to do.
At Lucas Oil, we take pride in creating problem-solving products to make your car care easier. We protect your vehicle and make it run longer so you can focus on the things that matter most. Whether it's commuting to work, visiting a loved one, taking the kids where they need to go, going to the big game, or anywhere life takes you, Lucas Oil is committed to getting you there for all of life's important moments. Lucas Oil, it works.
Our team is on the Rubicon Trail today, running over 125 vehicles over one of the toughest trails in the world. With all the different modifications people can make for their Jeep 4x4, the only product that touches the ground is a tire. This is the team that you want testing your product.
I've been off-roading for 30 years now, and you definitely don't need anything bigger than 37-inch tires. Our founder, Mark Smith, drove from the tip of South America to the tip of North America on 31-inch tires.
The General Tire X Series meets our standards.
We have the ability for accelerated testing in all conditions: mud, rock, dirt.
We're out here this week highlighting the capability of the General Grabber X3 to see how this tire can perform in unbelievable conditions. It's incredible to watch General Tire deliver in this terrain.
General Tire delivers me to a fishing tournament, the outdoors, jeeping, whatever it is that you want to do. It's outdoor life is what it is.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio redefined.
Here we go.
Please hang up and try again.
Good begin.
Please hang up and try again.
Freak Radio Network, broadcasting from the Lucas Oil Studios. Driven by General Tire. It's Speed Freaks. Motorsports Radio redefined with Kenny Sargent.
We love to party.
Crash Gladys.
What are we doing for the bachelorette party?
And Statman.
I am serious.
Here's the Freaks.
An hour of Speed Freaks, Lucas Oil Studios. Thank you guys for hanging out, man. And thank you, many affiliates across the country who've been a part of this big old thing. 90-plus affiliates on the Freak Radio Network and, of course, now on MAV TV, where they fed a few squirrels and they brought a few cameras in here to where you can actually see our freaking mugs. Coming up this hour, his name is Dallas Glenn, NHRA Pro Stock winner. He'll be joining us coming up in moments. Also this hour, Carson Hocever, who is your NASCAR Truck Series winner from Texas. A dude that, frankly, I want him to win every damn championship of every series that, frankly, he enters, because his personality, Stat and Crasher had a chance to catch up with this guy earlier. It is fan-freaking-tastic. So, yeah, big second hour here in the Freak Nation. Your Statman Scat also coming up. Be a part of this big old thing at Speed Freaks on Twitter, the website, speedfreaks.tv. That's speedfreaks.tv. Crasher, excuse me, the nickname that they have for Dallas Glenn, Pro Stock winner from the Lucas Oil Winter Nationals, is?
00 Dallas.
He certainly didn't, as we bring up in this interview when we catch up with him, he certainly didn't earn it to win this championship, or excuse me, to win this race, did he?
Well, he did throughout the day, but in the final race, in the fourth round of eliminations, the finals, yeah, he pretty much slept at the line. There was no 00 going on there. But car was powerful enough to drive around Matt Hartford. So there you go.
And I don't believe we talked about this in the interview. He's part of a pretty big team when it comes to the NHRA Pro Stock category.
Ever since, of course, it's escaping me now. What was the former name of Greg Anderson and Kyle Koretsky's team last year? Well, those owners, longtime NHRA fans and contributors, they sold last year, and now it's Greg Anderson, Kyle Koretsky. They've got this new KB Titan team, and it's Greg Anderson, Kyle Koretsky, Matt Hartford, Dallas Glenn. I think Camry Caruso is kind of in and out of that. Anyway, it's basically the Pro Stock super team. And all of those guys are going to be battling for wins throughout the year. It's an awesome group.
His name is Dallas Glenn, NHRA Pro Stock winner from your Lucas Oil Winter Nationals. We caught up with him moments after his big race win here in the Lucas Oil Studios. And Freak Nation, NHRA Pro Stock winner from the Lucas Oil Winter Nationals, Pomona, California, Dallas Glenn with 2 wins, joining us here in the Freak Nation, still celebrating in Victory Lane. Dallas, when you hang up with us, what's going to be your drink of choice to party all night long, buddy?
Me, I'm simple. I just like to have a good old Coca-Cola.
What the hell are you talking about? A Pro Stock dude that wins races by nose hairs? All you're going to do is drink a Coca-Cola?
Yeah, no, I don't do a whole lot in the drinking, so I like to just keep it simple.
Hey, look, I didn't say anything about drinking. I thought, are you going to go maybe out to some restaurants, some parties, get on some tables, and just go nuts sober?
Well, yeah, I mean, totally sober. I'm probably going to go get myself a nice steak dinner, though.
Freak Nation, his name is Dallas Glenn, NHRA Pro Stock winner from the Lucas Oil Winter Nationals. And talk about the field that you had to go through, dude, to sit here in Victory Lane in Pomona. It is stunning how nuts Pro Stock is.
Oh, Pro Stock is brutal, and I think it's only going to get even more brutal as the season goes on. No, I mean, I had to face 2 teammates today. And I know exactly what horsepower they got, and I know that, especially in the final, Matt Hartford, he's been outpacing me by just a couple thou every run, so I knew I had to get every last bit of it, and thankfully my crew chiefs gave me an absolutely stellar car in the final.
Well, you slept at the starting line, though. If we're going to be honest, he got you on the line. So your car was clearly just, you outmatched him when it came to the drag strip.
Yeah, no, I was a little nervous when I let go on that one. I didn't feel like I got it all, and it just made such a killer run. I hit all my shifts, and I look over, and it was so close I couldn't tell, and I just kind of crossed my fingers, went through the lights, and looked for the win light.
And that's not typical for you, right? Because you are 00 Dallas. I mean, the rest of the day was good for you.
Yeah, no, it's I mean, Matt, he's a great driver. I knew he was going to be tough, and I knew I had to do everything I could to get it. And I think I just got lucky that he kind of went down a little bit on his performance in the final.
So take us through you guys in the staging lanes, because you guys have kind of put together this super team that you have going on, and it doesn't matter which one of you guys is up, you're going to take a win, it seems like, this season. But take us through your staging lanes. Do you try to out-talk each other, trash-talk each other, give each other good luck? How does that go?
Typically, I'm all about good luck. There's not a whole lot of trash talking going on. You know, I just tell them to be safe and make it close. No matter what, a close race is a good race to me. You know, we give the fans the best show that we can, and close races are always more fun than a blowout.
Crasher, I know you want to jump in here, but Dallas, you sound like a boring dude. You don't trash talk. You don't get hammered when you get a race win. I mean, I know it's few and far between you when you get
That's exciting? Come on.
Listen.
It's typically by the end of a race win day, I'm all wore out. I still do the clutch and tranny on my car, so in between every run, I got to pull the clutch out and service it and put it back in and build a tranny and put it in. So I'm usually wore out by the end of the day.
Whoa.
Man, take some of this Lucas Oil International money and pay somebody to take care of that business, will you?
Well, you know, I mean, I still got to get a paycheck myself, you know.
Valid. Somebody has to pay for that steak dinner. So hold on a second, though. You're going out for a steak dinner tonight to celebrate. Are you going to work on your clutch before going out? I mean, when is this dinner going to even happen?
No. We're just going to tear everything down in the trailer, get ready to load up, and then I'm going to go and enjoy my evening and get a good night's rest. And then I still drive the truck, too. So I'm going to drive the truck to Vegas tomorrow and drop it off.
Dallas Glenn, NHRA Pro Stock winner from Pomona, Lucas Oil Winter Nationals. And again, you don't have to be 60 years old or 50 years old or even your age, Dallas, to understand what it means to win at the legendary track on this NHRA circuit at Pomona. How long is that going to take it to settle in for you?
I don't know if it ever can settle in. I mean, this is an incredible track. It's very historic. You know, they got new sponsors here with In-N-Out, and I think they're doing a great job. I saw lots of In-N-Out trucks all over. It was good for the crew to go get a bite to eat in between rounds, and absolutely, you know, I love this track. It's a very tough track, and I usually play golf at the very end there. You could look right past the sand trap. There's a nice golf course right there that we usually enjoy at the end of the season, and it's always been a tough track to race at, and it's really tough to win here. So this will really feel good for a long time.
Okay, hold on a second. You said that golf course is a place where you usually enjoy. I take it you've had some bad days on that course too?
Well, I didn't get to enjoy it too much this year. It was raining on Wednesday when I was supposed to go golf, so I didn't get to enjoy it. Normally it's not raining here. It's normally like it is right here where it's just absolutely beautiful. But no, it rained on me on Wednesday, so I didn't get to go golfing.
Well, hold on a second, Crasher. One thing that he brought up about the sand trap on that golf course is, again, if you're a drag racing fan, you know that you've got a sand trap at the end of that quarter mile. And I figure you'd much rather land in that freaking sand trap there on that golf course than that sand trap there at the end of the drag strip.
Yeah, no, it's there's a couple holes there where you get to stand on the tee box and look straight down the track. And, you know, I've always wondered what it would be like if you're standing there on the tee box and then have a car that doesn't have parachutes or something and comes flying into the sand trap. That's got to be pretty hard to tee off while that's going on behind you.
Dallas, have you ever ended up in one of the sand traps at the end of one of these drag strips with the NHRA?
I have not, and I hope I never do. I've had the chutes not come out a couple times, and I've learned quite a few things about carbon brakes, and I hope that never happens.
It's awesome. Freak Nation, a great win for a young man, Dallas Glenn, NHRA Pro Stock winner from the Lucas Oil Winter Nationals. We know that they're about to yank you from our television coverage, dude. Thank you for doing this, Dallas.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me here on Speed Freaks. Hopefully we'll be back on again soon here after Vegas.
Attaboy. Go kick some ass, will you?
Thank you.
All right, you guys want to clarify, Statman, you want to clarify the name of the team prior to this conglomerate that they've got going on?
Yeah, it was Ken Black Racing and KB Racing, and Ken Black retired at Pomona last year, so they kept the KB and added all these other guys and went racing. Super team.
It is a super team, man. KB Titan Racing is their new Instagram. And yeah, the only guy I left out was Derek Kramer. So it's Matt Hartford, Derek Kramer, Kyle Koretsky, Camry Caruso, Greg Anderson, your 5,000-time champion. Who am I? Dang it. I'm missing somebody else on it. No, but I mean, right there. Powerful stack right there of drivers. Let me look up this picture again. No. And Dallas Glenn, who we just had on.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Hey, regardless, I like what Dallas Glenn said, I know what kind of horsepower he has. Well, hell yeah, you do. Man, I get it. Freak Nation, coming up next.
Wait, hold on. What was it that Kyle Koretsky told us in Phoenix?
Just
Greg
say it. We got to go to break.
Greg Anderson's son tunes his car.
There it is.
Crazy.
Don't watch or listen to NASCAR if you want to raise a 9-year-old. I'll explain next.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
It's more than just a slogan. General Tire delivers for whatever you do. General Tire's Grabber X3 mud terrain tire offers aggressive styling and is engineered for durability with innovative performance features that are ready to carry you through extreme mud, dirt, and rock-covered terrain. For extreme traction that's ready for anything and rugged styling to match, look no further than the Grabber X3. General Tire delivers for whatever you do. Check out GeneralTire.com today. General Tire, aggressively styling the Speed Freaks since 2001.
From the labs at Lucas Oil Products, Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment is a multifunctional cleaner plus lubricant. For every fill-up of gas or diesel, add one 16-ounce can of Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment. One bottle can treat a tank of up to 21 gallons. Its special additives allows a better fuel burn to help increase your miles per gallon. Expect longer engine life, longer oil life, cleaner exhaust, and less fuel consumption. Lucas Oil, it works.
Dragging your knee at 100 miles per hour, doing a double jump with some extreme flair. If you're into two-wheel racing, make a standing date for Tuesday night on MAV TV. Two Wheel Tuesday will showcase the world's best motorcycle racers on the most challenging tracks. Whether it's the treacherous high-speed ballet of road racing or the handlebar-to-handlebar combat of the dirt arenas, MAV TV has your two-wheel fix every week on Two Wheel Tuesday.
There's a price war in the insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call the Term Lifeline right now and see if you can save 40%. $500,000 plans and up, that's our specialty. Even great smokers rates. Protect your family today. Call the Term Lifeline right now for a free quote. 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM.
The biggest racing series in America is coming to your town. It's time to mark your calendar. Get ready for the wildest festival of speed in the Midwest. The Enjoy Illinois 300, presented by Ticket Smarter. It doesn't get any bigger than this. Don't be on the outside looking in. Get your tickets now at www.raceway.com. Brought to you in part by the Office of Illinois Tourism and Illinois South Tourism.
For more than 30 years, Lucas Oil Products has been solving some of the most difficult mechanical problems in the automotive, marine, and industrial industries. From our original Core 4 products, heavy-duty oil stabilizer, power steering, stop leak, transmission fix, and fuel treatment, we have now developed over 400 custom products to help solve some of the world's toughest mechanical issues. Go to lucasoil.com to see what we have in store for you. Lucas Oil, it works.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio Redefined.
Lucas Oil Studios, Freak Nation. Check out lucasoil.com. That's lucasoil.com. I don't care if you got issues with inside your engine. What about the exterior of your car? Lucas Oil has the products to keep your engine happy and the outside of your car snappy. There you go. Okay.
Happy and snappy.
Go to lucasoil.com. Proud partners of the Freaks for over 2 decades. Go to lucasoil.com. 2 things I want to get to. One is, I mentioned going into break, that if you want to raise a 9-year-old, don't listen or watch what NASCAR does. One reason is because you try and set an example. When your 9-year-old daughter does something gnarly, you need to punish her rightly to make sure she doesn't do it again, or at least doesn't do it as much, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, according to this appeals committee, or whoever the hell these guys, these men and women are, when it comes to NASCAR, NASCAR penalized Hendrick Motorsports and every Cup car for a hood louver that, frankly, was out of whack. They fined them points. They suspended their crew chief. They fined them almost $500,000. Then they got in front of this panel, this appeals panel, and they said, you know what? Wasn't that damn bad.
Right.
We're still going to suspend your crew chiefs. We're still going to keep that $400,000 fine away from you. But damn it, see this platter, Hendrick? Take these points back. Right there. What does that say to the other teams about trying to get away from these spec parts, Statman, Crash, and Suave, that they have on this car? What team won't give the boot to their crew chief to get an advantage? What team owner won't pay $500,000 to get an advantage, to win races, to get top 5s, to get top 10s, to take care of their sponsors? Every team will do that. If the appeals committee is going to say, take away the money, take away the crew chief, but give your points back.
Well, the appeals committee consists of a lot of former drivers. So I don't know if this was kind of a little sympathy thing, like, well, it's not the driver's fault. Clearly, this is the team, the engineers, the ownership. Don't punish the drivers, hence the points coming back. Because the points, well, at least in the driver regard, the points belong to the driver, and it affects his or her championship. So, but it is a slippery slope, because now what happens moving forward? First of all, what happens with these louvers moving forward? So are they legal or are they not legal? And then what happens when other teams are in similar situations with parts? Is it going to be a financial fine? Is it going to affect the drivers or not affect the drivers? There's a lot of questions that have come about, more so now than before this appeals panel came through.
Statman, you've raised some children in your time, and this reminds me of maybe you and your wife at the time, where you're pretty stern with your daughter or your son and send them up to the room and you take away their dinner and they can't drive the car for 2 weeks. But then mama comes in and says, it's okay, I'm going to give you the car back for the next 2 weeks, and just freaking undermines your reprimands for them doing bad business.
Well, you were there. You heard that? You were there in the room. Wow. Yeah. I thought I was all alone. I didn't know that somebody was there listening. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the issue. There's still some question, from what I understand. There's still some question as to whether or not the louvers were legal or not. Why I didn't understand when I was reading this. It was like, well, so, but yeah, you're right. I think probably the drivers were saying it's not the driver's fault. So they gave the points back to the driver, but they penalized the team with the money. And not all teams are going to afford $500,000. But Hendrick, who is one of the OGs, the godfather, one of the blue bloods in the sport, He's saying, hey, let's get a grip here. You can't penalize me like that. So, they decided to ease up a bit.
Well, Suave, again, I know that you are the man about town, and when it comes to raising children, you're my go-to source when I need to reprimand my daughter. I call up the freaking Suave hotline and say, brah, Henley did this. How should I punish her? But frankly, Suave, when it comes to what NASCAR fined this team, points, crew chief, money. If another team comes in with these illegal louvers, it's the same thing as my daughter's saying, coming back. Well, Daddy, last time you let me get away with it. How do you come back to her and say, well, you know what? This time it's Thursday, and last time it was Tuesday when I reprimanded you. How do you come back from this?
Well, they didn't have like a precedent for this particular type of penalty, right? With these louvers, which we talked about on the show a couple weeks ago, right? And I don't think, first of all, none of us knew how to spell it. We had to type it into Google to figure out how to spell it correctly. That's number one. And number two, now we all know what they are and what they do with the car. And maybe NASCAR found that out for the first time too. Maybe Hendrick Motorsports found that out for the first time as well. But now there's an actual precedent that NASCAR has set out here, at least from this appeals panel, which Crash, you mentioned, I want to go over because I thought this was interesting. From NBC Sports, the appeal will be heard by 3 members, which has already taken place. It comes from a pool of panelists. The Cup rulebook lists 19 panelists. The group includes former drivers Mike Skinner, Lake Speed, Bill Lester, Shauna Robinson, and Lynn St. James, among other people in motorsports. So now that this precedent is set, now NASCAR has an idea of what to do if this ever happens again in terms of these parts penalties. But I think the biggest reason why maybe the penalty is lesser than it originally was all this was taking place prior to the race. So they didn't find these louvers on the car during the actual race, right? They found it during qualifying, during practice. And I wonder if that was where this panel found their out in terms of not taking away actual points, which you can only earn in a race. And I bet you that was their out there. So I'm curious if this actually happens in a race and they find this in a post-race inspection, how things change. And if then that penalty becomes larger if it happens during a race.
Hey, Statman, you probably did the same damn thing I did. When Richie read those names, the majority of those names, if they could, would take probably the biggest, largest middle finger that they could and put it right in the face of NASCAR because of maybe the way they were treated at the time. So, yeah, no duh. Yeah, they're going to side with the freaking driver until NASCAR to lick it. Yeah, they are.
Those names that were read were all people. They weren't drummed out of NASCAR, but they weren't sung a tune when they were a part of NASCAR. So, yeah, I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I doubt that it did, but that's certainly some question as to how this whole thing was mediated and resolved, where there's still some question as well, these aren't louvers that we want you to have, but we're not going to penalize you.
Look, I didn't read Bill Lester's book, but I bet if I do, that Bill Lester might have a problem with that former series and the way he was treated in certain circumstances there, Statman.
You don't have to read the book to figure that out.
He's a great follow on social media, too. He tells it like it is. He's awesome.
The book does give you a little background on things that didn't go Bill's way all the time.
It's just a hell of a precedent that they're setting. Was it a case of, and I know we got about a minute and a half to cook here. Crasher, you think it was a case of NASCAR getting too far over their skis with this penalty?
Yeah,
no, wait, let me jump in here, Crash. I'm sorry. I think that NASCAR, I can't believe I'm even thinking this, man.
Uh-oh.
I think NASCAR has a right here to say, look, if these are going to be spec parts on this car and you come up with non-spec parts, then something's got to be done about this. And there is a mechanism for to appeal the decision from the appeals panel. I don't know if more people from this group are going to hear the appeal, but yeah, I think that if this is going to be a spec car, and I can't come up with non-spec parts and not expect to be penalized for that. I think we haven't heard the end of this, and I think it's only fair. They can't let, the other way you got Smoky Unique, where people turn up with cars that are twisted backwards and have 18,000 horsepower instead of the recommended horsepower that is in the engines that they approve.
All right, Statman, we got a break. Crasher, we got a break. His name is Carson Hocevar. Hocevar. Sorry, I don't care what the guy drives. I want him to win, and I want him to win the next 20 NASCAR Cup Series championships. And you'll find out why coming up next. Speed Freaks Pits and the Lucas Oil Studio.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
Dragging your knee at 100 miles per hour, doing a double jump with some extreme flair. If you're into two-wheel racing, make a standing date for Tuesday night on MAV TV. Two-Wheel Tuesday will showcase the world's best motorcycle racers on the most challenging tracks. Whether it's the treacherous high-speed ballet of road racing or the handlebar-to-handlebar combat of the dirt arenas, MAV TV has your two-wheel fix every week on Two-Wheel Tuesday.
Execution's 11 p.m., but he's trying to convince us he's gone insane.
You're looking for that movie that'll give you a thrill ride from beginning to end? Well, then you need to see Nefarious. It's a supernatural thriller that's going to have you guessing from start to finish. It stars Sean Patrick Flannery, which of course you know from Boondock Saints, Young Indiana Jones, Powder Dexter, The Boys. Flannery, frankly, turns in his best performance as Edward Wayne Brady, a convicted serial killer and master manipulator awaiting execution. And his sanity must be judged before execution by a psychiatrist. And Edward's last psychiatrist, committed suicide under suspicious conditions. But dig this, Brady reveals he wants to be executed, claiming he's the demon Nefarious. Nefarious opens in theaters Friday, April 14th, so get your tickets now at whoisnefarious.com. That's whoisnefarious.com.
Can you feel it? I think it's time we tell you what it is that we'd like you to do.
At Lucas Oil, we take pride in creating problem-solving products to make your car care easier. We protect your vehicle and make it run longer so you can focus on the things that matter most. Whether it's commuting to work, visiting a loved one, taking the kids where they need to go, going to the big game, or anywhere life takes you, Lucas Oil is committed to getting you there for all of life's important moments. Lucas Oil, it works.
Our team is on the Rubicon Trail today, running over 125 vehicles over one of the toughest trails in the world. With all the different modifications people can make for their Jeep 4x4, the only product that touches the ground is a tire. This is the team that you want testing your product.
I've been off-roading for 30 years now, and you definitely don't need anything bigger than 37-inch tires. Our founder, Mark Smith, drove from the tip of South America to the tip of North America on 31-inch tires.
The General Tire X Series meets our standards.
We have the ability for accelerated testing in all conditions: mud, rock, dirt.
We're out here this week highlighting the capability of the General Grabber X3 to see how this tire can perform in unbelievable conditions. It's incredible to watch General Tire deliver in this terrain.
General Tire delivers me to a fishing tournament, the outdoors, jeeping, whatever it is that you want to do. It's outdoor life is what it is.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio Redefined.
You can go to generaltire.com to where you can find out to get $70 back with a Visa prepaid card when you buy 4 qualifying General tires. That's $70 back with 4 qualifying tires that you purchase from General Tires. For more information, go to generaltire.com. You're about to find out why I think this dude should win every freaking championship of every series that he enters. Carson Hocevar, now with Stat and Crash, Speed Freak Pits and Lucas Oil Studios.
So, Freak Nation, this is interesting. We are joined by your winner from Texas Motor Speedway, his first truck win. Check that baby off the list. Carson Hocevar, welcome to the Freak Nation.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I look like a freak probably, to be honest. People got no context. But
well, explain the chain right now for those that are watching on TV.
It's Craftsman sponsors us, so they have it's a chain with I don't know 13 millimeter wrenches and big Craftsman logo, and I'm gonna pimp this out for a long time.
You are going to pimp it out for a long time. So every winner gets to wear that chain with the big Craftsman logo.
Yeah, I'm gonna wear it all week. I'm gonna wear it like to everywhere. I'm gonna work out in it. I'm gonna do everything in it. You're only as good as your last race, and somebody's gonna get this next week if it's not me, and I'm gonna enjoy it before it gets basically taken away from me.
You know we're going to hold you to that. So I've got to see your social media account. You with your little biker shorts and
Everything.
big weights in each arm.
I'm really not gonna take it off. I'm gonna be there. Everybody in like grocery store and like Chipotle and stuff are gonna be wondering what the hell this guy's doing wearing a Craftsman chain and a cowboy hat. I don't even know if I want to take the race suit off, to be honest. I'll probably just carry it all around. I don't want to leave, to be honest. Can we just cancel our flight? I want to cancel everything.
Carson Hocevar, first Craftsman truck win. Dude, you nailed it. But what happened when the seas parted and suddenly there was nobody in front of you? That must have been...
I couldn't believe it. Before the restart, I thought, man, I have not been very good today. I did not do anything right. I'm somehow here. I don't know. I was running 22nd probably, like a few restarts ago, and now I was running top 5. And I was like, man, if I would ever have a shot at winning this race, it would be this one. Like, do not deserve this thing at all. They're probably like, if they wrecked each other or some sort of way that's the C's part here, it would be this one. Like, it just not deserving at all. And that's just what happened. Like, they got hitting so hard and so focused on each other that I was trying to go bottom 3 or push one of the two and just try and, make sure they didn't have a good corner. And he came out of the grass sideways and I didn't realize it. And second I touched him, he was around. So I don't ever want to do that and didn't mean to do that, but everybody would say that in my position too. So like, there's obviously some sort of genuine-ish, right? But I do mean it. And I did not mean to do that. But when there's no one else in front of me, I couldn't believe it. I looked up, I was just hoping we got the white flag. I'm like, hopefully that's it. Like, there's no way. Like, I sat in turn 4 for what felt like a million years, that just waiting to see if they're going to take it away from me or something. Something crazy's got to happen.
Yeah, you dumped the clutch though when they announced the win, and you went from.
I was going to destroy that thing. I wanted it so burnt down. I wanted it in my living room. Like I told them. I said They asked me at the start of the year. They said, "Hey, like we got to take care of these motors if we win," and I promised them that I was going to shut my radio off and I was going to burn that thing down so bad that I didn't want it to be able to be repaired because I wanted my kitchen coffee table. Like I wanted that thing exploded. I didn't want to hurt the truck too bad, but motor I wasn't worried about.
And Statman, I've got to show you pictures from Victory Lane. I don't think anybody, whether it's Cup, Xfinity, Trucks, IndyCar, have ever burned down their tires in Victory Lane until you, Carson Hocevar. Amazing.
Thank you.
Did you want to do that going in, or you just said, I'm going?
I knew they were blown out. I said, the coolest thing ever would be burning it out in Victory Lane. I've wanted to do it for the longest time. And I wonder when Bristol, honestly, especially last year, because you go uphill, and I was going to burn it down all the way uphill and around. And I was like, man, I got to have enough tire to make sure I can blow this thing out in Victory Lane. And the second I turned into victory lane, I was wide open, because that thing was spewing water. I thought it was going to blow up any second, to be honest, because that thing was, I didn't even look at water time. I probably didn't want to, but that thing was, I was wanting to pet. Like, I didn't want anybody to be able to see me. I wanted to walk out and smoke. Did it look cool when I was doing burnout on the start finish line and I got out of the car? Did that work?
Oh, yes.
Did that look cool?
What looked even cooler was you on the ground, not believing it, and I think it was your mom that came up and gave you a hug. That it must have made you feel good to see her face in the middle of that, right?
Yeah, it did. It just felt good to see them all. It just felt good to stand there. To be honest, I've stood on pit road and watched people do that whole life. So I wanted that one time.
You tried to climb up on the roof of the truck.
I don't have any like stability anymore in my ankle. So like,
oh no.
Because it's broke, so I didn't have it broke last year, so I didn't have that much stability. So I tried to stand up and I almost fell. I'm like, that's probably not. And I didn't know if I was legally allowed to step on the roof. So I was like, and then the second they were already out in there, and I just started hugging. I just enjoyed it.
So wait just a second though. You broke your ankle last year and you've never had it fixed?
No, it is. It's just still worn. It's still like I'm uncoordinated with it.
So no Carl Edwards backflips for you?
No, that thing would explode. Like my ankle it would blow, then screw out. It would I was afraid when I jumped off the truck in Victory Lane. I was like, oh, I gotta watch doing that too much. So
yeah, well,
I'm wore out.
You got a chain around your neck, so you got the tow vehicle can come and pull you into wherever you want to go.
I know. I'm gonna enjoy this playing hard holding this thing. This thing's sleeping with me. I'm gonna sleep with it. I promise you.
I have seen trophies on drivers' pillows after they've won a race before on their Instagram account.
Like a teddy bear. This thing's cuddled like a teddy bear. I'm 5 years old again. I had a teddy growing up, and this thing is my new teddy. Like I'm cuddling the hell out of this thing.
What, you name teddy bears? I mean, most kids do. Are you going to name your trophy?
The badass winner. Something, I don't know. This thing's the greatest thing that ever happened to me. Almost.
Well, hold on a second though. Let's talk about. I think you're going to go where I was going to go, Statman. It's not like you're not a winner. You are a badass quarter midget driver. I mean, you've won in late models. It's not like you haven't won before. But is there a gap that you were just dying to get rid of?
NASCAR. It's not NASCAR. I grew up watching NASCAR and thinking I could do it. I'm playing the stop motion die cast and stuff. So I just keep looking at this thing like it's my baby, to be honest. I just like looking at it, touching it, to be honest. But no, I'm just happy to have it. And so, you don't know when your last one is, so I can officially say I'm a NASCAR winner. And I mean, even though it's trucks, I could just say NASCAR.
It's still NASCAR.
It's still NASCAR.
So Carson Hocevar, 15-time quarter midget champion, national quarter midget champion, NASCAR winner now. You just admitted on national TV in the Freak Nation that you had a teddy bear when you were growing up, dude.
Who didn't?
Well, I didn't, but you gotta tell me what this teddy bear thing is about. How old were you when you got rid of the teddy bear?
Oh, I don't remember. I think it was like 5 or 6 when I got rid of my teddy bear. But
did you have a name for it?
Teddy. I was really creative.
Teddy. All right. Teddy the bear. What happened? Did you pass it down to a little sister or cousin or something? Or
No, I'm the youngest basically in my family. So it's just sitting on the little guy's just sitting on a shelf. And I have a bad, I'm a hoarder basically. Like I get attached to things. So I wouldn't throw them away or get rid of them. I just have them sitting there.
Okay, if you're having a bad race, maybe, or just a frustrating race like you were today, what music's going through your head? And then when you got that confirmation of the win, what music was going through your head?
I was just listening. I saw like a Rush TikTok earlier before the race. It's so like 2023 millennial kid to say that, but like I saw Rush and it was like motivating of James Hunt, and then like that's what literally I thought of. Like it's what I thought of, and it came into my head. I'm like, man, that guy's pretty cool. Like I love the movie Rush. I'm obsessed with it. So the second I saw that, I was like, okay, I gotta remember this. Like this is pretty badass.
So we got a NASCAR driver
from
Michigan who won a race in Texas who's listening to Rush, a Canadian band?
No. The movie.
The movie Rush.
The movie. All right.
Yes.
I was getting ready to say, dude, I was gonna lay you out there. You gonna
No, the movie. The movie.
All right, that's fair. That's fair.
But pretty badass though.
It is.
Look at that stat man about to stick up for me. If somebody's quoting the band Rush, stat man's going to jump in if I'm not there to protect it.
Yeah, we gotta uphold the Freak Nation. We got one of the baddest dudes in music. Got to uphold it, even if he ain't there.
Freak Nation, coming up next, your stat man Scat regarding IndyCar. Speaking of Texas Motor Speedway, regarding IndyCar. You believe me? Well, stat man's got a good take on it. That's why we call him the Stat Man. In fact, Stat Man, we'll get into a story about Stat Man and open wheel. Stat Man was a freaking open wheel driver at one time. Yeah, we'll get to that.
Funny.
It's Lucas Oil Studio.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
Dragging your knee at 100 miles per hour, doing a double jump with some extreme flair. If you're into two-wheel racing, make a standing date for Tuesday night on MAV TV. Two Wheel Tuesday will showcase the world's best motorcycle racers on the most challenging tracks. Whether it's the treacherous high-speed ballet of road racing or the handlebar-to-handlebar combat of the dirt arenas, MAV TV has your two-wheel fix every week on Two Wheel Tuesday.
Execution's 11 p.m., but he's trying to convince us he's gone insane.
You're looking for that movie that'll give you a thrill ride from beginning to end? Well, then you need to see Nefarious. It's a supernatural thriller that's going to have you guessing from start to finish. It stars Sean Patrick Flannery, which of course you know from Boondock Saints, Young Indiana Jones, Powder Dexter, The Boys. Flannery, frankly, turns in his best performance as Edward Wayne Brady, a convicted serial killer and master manipulator awaiting execution. And his sanity must be judged before execution by a psychiatrist. And Edward's last psychiatrist, committed suicide under suspicious conditions. But dig this, Brady reveals he wants to be executed, claiming he's the demon Nefarious. Nefarious opens in theaters Friday, April 14th, so get your tickets now at whoisnefarious.com. That's whoisnefarious.com.
Can you feel it? I think it's time we tell you what it is that we'd like you to do.
At Lucas Oil, we take pride in creating problem-solving products to make your car care easier. We protect your vehicle and make it run longer so you can focus on the things that matter most. Whether it's commuting to work, visiting a loved one, taking the kids where they need to go, going to the big game, or anywhere life takes you, Lucas Oil is committed to getting you there for all of life's important moments. Lucas Oil, it works.
Our team is on the Rubicon Trail today, running over 125 vehicles over one of the toughest trails in the world. With all the different modifications people can make for their Jeep 4x4, the only product that touches the ground is a tire. This is the team that you want testing your product.
I've been off-roading for 30 years now, and you definitely don't need anything bigger than 37-inch tires. Our founder, Mark Smith, drove from the tip of South America to the tip of North America on 31-inch tires.
The General Tire X Series meets our standards.
We have the ability for accelerated testing in all conditions: mud, rock, dirt.
We're out here this week highlighting the capability of the General Grabber X3 to see how this tire can perform in unbelievable conditions. It's incredible to watch General Tire deliver in this terrain.
General Tire delivers me to a fishing tournament, the outdoors, jeeping, whatever it is that you want to do. It's outdoor life is what it is.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio Redefined.
Sunday's IndyCar race at Texas was the answer to a classic question. Is racing competition or speed? It's easy to say both, but that borders on a cop-out. To me, there's so much drama in wheel-to-wheel competition. Driver skill is tested, car setup, team strategy, and so much more. The breathtaking speeds at Texas, though, introduce a level of luck to me. Can you avoid an accident when human reaction just isn't fast enough to avoid another car? It's good to have events like Texas in the calendar where we can test a driver's skill and luck. Thinking aloud, though, speeds at Indy are greater, but the drama of the competition is higher as well. The longer lap makes both possible and makes the show at Indy so great. The shorter lap at Texas makes the show look like a video game and less like a contest of motor racing skills. The frustration to me is how the race ended Sunday. Did Josef Newgarden win, or did the race end while he was in first place? It just seemed like there was so much random left in the Winners' Cup at the end. Peace.
Freak Nation, there are some imitators out there when it comes to your motorsports coverage, but there's nobody better than your motorsports network when it comes to MAV TV. Well, obviously, they have Speed Freaks on every Sunday night live from 10 to midnight Eastern. Monster Jam, bam, right there. Did you catch the arena cross? For more information, go to mavtv.com. Again, there are imitators out there, but nobody like your motorsports network and MAV TV. Go to mavtv.com. That's mavtv.com for more information. If you don't have it, you want to get it, I know you want it, go to mavtv.com. Now, Statman, playing off your scat and the IndyCar series, at one time back in the day, was it a Formula 2000 open wheel car that you were hauling ass around the old L.A. Forum where the Lakers play back in the day? Is that true?
You remember that story? Yeah, it was Formula 5000. And it was, we finished rebuilding an engine, had to get everything ready. And by the time we were in Southern California, traffic was terrible. We couldn't get to Orange County where there's a road course to test the car. We were close to the Forum, the fabulous Forum where the Lakers played. And we just whipped it in there. It had a huge parking lot and made a little road course around the parking lot till the security guards came out. And I'm sitting there with driving gloves and a suit and everything. And they come out and pulled me over and said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm testing my engine." But I gave a little explanation. The guy said, "But what are you doing?" I said, "I'm testing my engine." By then, everybody came around and, the owner of the car threw a little paperwork in the game, and I continued testing my engine.
In the parking lot.
In the Forum parking lot, yeah.
A Formula 5000 car.
Yeah, there was enough room. I got up to like the top of third gear at one time.
Bro, will you explain, please, Statman? And you need to do a scat and pull out some of those old black and white photos where you had all that hair. Listen, you need to explain to the Freak Nation where the Forum is and why it was kind of gnarly, the fact that you're running this Formula 5000 car at the Forum and where it's located at a certain part of Southern California.
Yes, right across the street from SoFi, what's now SoFi Stadium, Manchester and Prairie, according to Chick Hearn. That's what he used to call it. And we just pulled in there, took the car off the trailer, and before anybody had a chance to say, "You can't do this," we were doing it. I only had to get about 50, 60 miles on the engine before I raced that weekend. So, we were banging through the gears.
Hold on, Statman, hold on a second. You
Wait a minute. I think
as
the statute of limitations has run out on all this.
Yeah, you're fine.
As long as I've known you, Stat Man, you won't run a yellow light. But you go out there with a freaking F5000 car at the parking lot of the legendary Forum. You're buzzing. I don't care if it's 65 miles an hour or 165, man. People see this brother in an open wheel car around the Forum, and you don't have the freaking SWAT team propelling off the Forum.
The look on the security guard's face when he pulled up there and said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm testing my engine." And I gave this long explanation, and I'm sitting there in the car, and what am I going to do? And when I got finished with the explanation, the guy just looked at me and, "What are you doing?"
Wow.
Yeah, that was crazy. There was two of them. There's a guy in a suit and a guy in a security guard's uniform with a gun.
Think about doing something like that now, where our dogs and cats have cameras. We can't catch a freaking UFO or UPA or APU or whatever the hell they're calling it nowadays. But damn it, we can catch everything else. Statman, you would be a TikTok legend if they see you in that F5000 car rolling around Forum, just down the street from Hollywood Park, where a bunch of nasty gamblers are laying down bad money on slow horses.
And that's what they're doing.
He didn't have slow horses.
You've been there, obviously. Nobody could explain it any better than that. Bad money on slow horses. Yeah. That's what you do at the Hollywood Park Casino.
Is that really gone now? The Hollywood Park, is that gone? That's no longer.
SoFi Stadium took up most of that. The casino's still there, but Hollywood Park is, where the SoFi Stadium is right now, where the Rams and Chargers play.
What aspirations did you have, Statman? Again, you're running several series. I mean, did you have aspirations to run any big boy professional series?
Oh yeah, I went to Jim Russell School, and I was on my way until all of a sudden somebody said, "Oh, you need money for that?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, that was a whole different thing." I did run a rally cars. I had a little rally car, and we ran rallies in California, and Texas, Arizona, and I was doing pretty good. Got won a a novice of the rally once. Came in second on one stage once. Almost ran in somebody's trunk. I came around the corner and the guy was slowing down at the control. I said, "There's a car there," I had no idea how fast I was going. It was my first rally.
Okay, hold on a second, Statman. Was this before a woman tapped you on the shoulder and said, "See behind me? There are two little babies back there. You get your ass out of that rally car and come take care of these children"?
Yeah, well, that was a problem. I wanted a clutch and she wanted a couch, and that
was great.
Plus, when I had to replace the clutch in my rally car, and I got my son under the car to help me put the transmission in, and he left, and my ex-wife said he washed his hands for 20 minutes.
Can we use that as a tagline for Speed Freaks? Speed Freaks. Your wife wants what was it?
Couch.
She wanted a couch and I needed a clutch,
Where your wife wants a couch, but you want a clutch.
Yeah, you talk about cutting it loose. That was
That's the original cut it loose.
That's the original cut it loose, yeah.
Now I know why he said, "Dude, I ain't going home. I got to find someplace to run this Formula 5000 car. You go over there to the freaking Forum. We're going to run it in that sumbitch, all right?"
They had a huge parking lot, though. Like I said, I got up to top of third gear one time. The mechanic looked at me. He said, "What are you doing?" "Yeah, I just wanted you to run it up in first and second." But hey, it felt good. What can I tell
But hold
you?
on. You said you had to put about 60 miles on it before a race. Where was the race?
The race was in Riverside.
Oh,
yeah.
And
back in the day.
Yeah, no, that was back in the day. We we were. I could give you. I got racing stories.
We got a minute.
The rest of the hour, you know.
Yep. We got a minute, not 60 minutes. We got 1 minute.
1 minute. Yeah.
But again, Freak Nation, the things you learn here on the show where Statman's ex wanted a couch, but he wanted a clutch. That's beautiful. In 30 plus years, yes, 30 plus years of me knowing Statman, he's never uttered that phrase.
Can we get that on a t-shirt? Speedfreaks.tv?
Yep, let's do it. Let's do it. All right, Freak Nation, you missed any of the show. Go to the website, speedfreaks.tv, MAV TV. There will be a repeat on MAV TV. Thank you guys for being a part of this big old thing. It's a fantastic show on Sunday nights where if you've never seen the Freak Nation before or heard it, well, you'll never forget it. To the juice to the moose and Statman.
Let it loose.
See ya, Freak Nation. Later.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
Dragging your knee at 100 miles per hour, doing a double jump with some extreme flair. If you're into two-wheel racing, make a standing date for Tuesday night on MAV TV. Two Wheel Tuesday will showcase the world's best motorcycle racers on the most challenging tracks. Whether it's the treacherous high-speed ballet of road racing or the handlebar-to-handlebar combat of the dirt arenas, MAV TV has your two-wheel fix every week on Two Wheel Tuesday.
Execution's 11 p.m., but he's trying to convince us he's gone insane.
You're looking for that movie that'll give you a thrill ride from beginning to end? Well, then you need to see Nefarious. It's a supernatural thriller that's going to have you guessing from start to finish. It stars Sean Patrick Flannery, which of course you know from Boondock Saints, Young Indiana Jones, Powder Dexter, The Boys. Flannery, frankly, turns in his best performance as Edward Wayne Brady, a convicted serial killer and master manipulator awaiting execution. And his sanity must be judged before execution by a psychiatrist. And Edward's last psychiatrist, committed suicide under suspicious conditions. But dig this, Brady reveals he wants to be executed, claiming he's the demon Nefarious. Nefarious opens in theaters Friday, April 14th, so get your tickets now at whoisnefarious.com. That's whoisnefarious.com.
Can you feel it? I think it's time we tell you what it is that we'd like you to do.
At Lucas Oil, we take pride in creating problem-solving products to make your car care easier. We protect your vehicle and make it run longer so you can focus on the things that matter most. Whether it's commuting to work, visiting a loved one, taking the kids where they need to go, going to the big game, or anywhere life takes you, Lucas Oil is committed to getting you there for all of life's important moments. Lucas Oil, it works.
Our team is on the Rubicon Trail today, running over 125 vehicles over one of the toughest trails in the world. With all the different modifications people can make for their Jeep 4x4, the only product that touches the ground is a tire. This is the team that you want testing your product.
I've been off-roading for 30 years now, and you definitely don't need anything bigger than 37-inch tires. Our founder, Mark Smith, drove from the tip of South America to the tip of North America on 31-inch tires.
The General Tire X Series meets our standards.
We have the ability for accelerated testing in all conditions: mud, rock, dirt.
We're out here this week highlighting the capability of the General Grabber X3 to see how this tire can perform in unbelievable conditions. It's incredible to watch General Tire deliver in this terrain.
General Tire delivers me to a fishing tournament, the outdoors, jeeping, whatever it is that you want to do. It's outdoor life is what it is.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio Redefined.